Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Matt with Green Bar Trading here. We're going to go over what happened with the FOMC today, what happened with the Powell press conference, the overall market. I'm going to go over some charts for you and also our trade on Microsoft and taking that profit for just about $450. So that was a great trade. Traded it right at supply and took profit at demand. So that's the way that I'm trading. Trading supply to the short side, trading demand to the upside. All right. Very simple in support and resistance. These are great ways to trade. So getting into it, looking at the economic calendar. As always, we cannot forget what the economic calendar is showing for the week. So this is something we constantly go over in every weekly watch list video, every single morning in our Discord. We go over this kind of stuff. That link will be in the description if you're interested in joining. We had the FOMC rate decision today. It came in at 25 basis points. That's what the market expected, and that's what the market got. Now, why did the market pull on back? When Powell was speaking, which was at 2:30. So this is something that we also are constantly talking about in our trading community. At 2 o'clock, when that rate decision comes out, a lot of times the market will reverse course right here at 2:30 when Powell starts to speak, because he's answering questions that are not necessarily about that 25 basis point, but about the guidance. It's just like an earnings report. We want to know what the Fed is thinking. We want to know how hawkish or how dovish they're going to be going forward. And it was a pretty hawkish, I would say, slight tilt to the hawkish part by saying that they're definitely not in the cards to cut interest rates this year. Now, I don't think the market was expecting that. I know the bond market was definitely not pricing that in. He wants to hammer home inflation has to get down to 2%. Somebody asked, if it gets to 3%, will they consider, that a win? And he was very, very confident in saying that they have to get down to the 2%, and it's going to take a very long time. The market definitely took that negatively. All right, so that came down. Something he also is talking about a lot is that jobs number, right? He's talking a lot about the unemployment rate, speaking that it is so low, the unemployment rate, the labor market is so tight that it's making rate decisions easier to raise interest rates because the labor market has simply been so strong. All right, so that's the economic calendar there. Now going over to the SPY. All right, this is something that I had posted in our Discord 3 days ago. All right, right here on Monday, we noticed that there was a very specific daily candle. Now, this is the daily chart. I always like to look at the daily chart in determining a thesis, a prediction of where market direction is going. Now, market direction is so incredibly difficult, but looking at this candle right here, that's a gravestone doji candle. All right, zooming in a little bit more. That's a gravestone doji, which is a very bearish candle, into and back out of this big supply zone here, right? So that's resistance. We see a double top on the year, a double top also very bearish. And then that next day, we saw a big red day, followed by today, another very bearish candle. All right, so that's what we're looking at right now. This move out of here was my trade on Microsoft. A lot of times the stocks trade with the overall market. So it's very important to know what's going on with the overall market and then taking trades in individual stocks based on that. So if we're coming into resistance, right, which we were, if Microsoft is also extended, which it was, then I find that is a high probability chance to see a pullback. And that's exactly what we got. All right. Now, if we look at this on the 180 day, I'm going to take off these indicators. We're going to look at this on the 180 and we're going to dial this in. Now you can see there's a lot of demand and then there's supply, right? Then there's demand and now we're in that next sort of consolidation. So what I'm seeing here, we got a lot of touches. We got a lot of touches on both sides of this. So we have 308, 309, very specific resistance, very specific support at 304. So I took this trade as close to 308 as possible back on Monday, and then took that trade off right here today, just about at the close. We were at 304. That's where I took my profit off. And that was a good trade. Like I said, bought 3 contracts for $4.65, started scaling out of those all the way into the $6 range, profited just about $450 on that trade. Now, what I would be looking at here on Microsoft is if 304 breaks, well, then you can have a move down to 300 and then maybe even retest this previous breakout. All right, that's really going to be something that I'm going to be watching, this 304. We gap down possibly tomorrow, then we got to look at that. We got to see if there's going to be further weakness in the market. So that's basically it. Always look at the overall market and then try to get into something that if you're coming up to resistance, see if there's stocks that carry the market that are also coming up into resistance. And then it's a multiple confluence type of trade. And that's what we did. So hit the thumbs up and I'll see you back on the next one. Take care, guys.